Welcome to Technology Tips by Tom. My name is Tom Lee, and I am the coordinator of the Batten Center here at the Virginia Beach campus. We'll be doing these tips on a regular basis, and this is my first edition. So I've picked a topic that I think is very useful for any faculty here at Tidewater Community College. We're going to talk about Google Apps for Education and focusing in on the Google Drive. Last summer, the VCCS partnered with Google to offer every faculty, staff, and student access to Google Apps for Education. We got an email about it, but you probably really don't know much about it. Not much detail was given. But we've been having access to it for a year now, and one of the best features is the Google Drive app, which will allow you to do several things. So we're going to talk about what having access to the Google Drive means. So most importantly, you will now have the ability to store any file from your computer into the cloud up on your Google Drive. Normally they give 5 gigabytes of Google space for the drive, but because we have the Apps for Education, you now have access to 20 gigabytes of storage. So that's a lot of file space that you can use to store all your important documents, all your important PowerPoints, your Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, video files, picture files, anything that mainly you want to have the ability to access these files from anywhere. You no longer need to bring in a thumb drive into your classrooms with all your PowerPoints on it. You can simply go to any classroom at any campus on any computer and log into your Google Apps and download any PowerPoint or document or PDF or video that you would like to use in class. So that's a great feature right there in and of itself. But the really nice thing is you can share these files with other people, with your students, with other faculty members, with other team members, collaborators, and I'll show you simply how to do that. You can either give them the link or you can invite them to share files, an entire folder or single files, and we'll go over that. And then the last part would be is if you actually create these files using Google Docs or Google Spreadsheets or Google Presentations, you'll be able to collaborate on these files, keep track of revision histories, go back to previous versions, but pretty much collaborate online with other people to come up with a final product. So let me get right into how to access your Google Apps for Education. Now when you go to My TCC and log in, of course this is a screen you come up with. To access your Google Apps, you're going to go to your Gmail or Google Mail account. A lot of faculty members don't even realize that they have a Gmail account, which has an email.vccs.edu name to it, and this is your Google Mail. So if you clicked on it, you're going to find access to all your emails been sent to you that maybe you didn't even know about that your students are sending. And we'll talk more in another tip about how to forward these emails to your TCC email. But this is where you access the Google Apps for Education. Under your name at the very top, you'll notice these little squares that says Apps. You click on that, and these are the various apps. You have a Google Plus, you have the Google Drive, Calendar, create websites, you can create contacts, you have access to a YouTube channel, books, photos, all kinds of things you have access to. But let me get back then to the Google Drive. So you would click on the Google Drive, and that will bring up another web page where you will see, if you've been using it, any files or folders you've uploaded. Most of the time you're going to see pretty much a blank screen. But the nice thing is, in your Google Drive, when you store files, you can color code folders to make it look nice. You can name folders after particular classes that you're teaching, and so on. But to be able to upload files right from your computer, you go to the Drive, and the little up arrow here says Upload. You click on that, And you can either upload a particular file, just one file by itself, or you can do an entire folder. So if you've already got folders set up for your classes with all your important documents, you can upload the folder in itself or file. I'm going to click on Files, and it will take you to your computer, and basically you'll go look on your computer for documents, whatever you want to do. And just for example, I'll just load document 9, say choose, and that Word document is uploaded right away. So I would see that Word document right here. Or I could have chosen to put that Word document into any one of these folders. And so while we're looking at the folders, let me just point out that if you right click on any folder, you can change the color, which is kind of nice. Keep things looking visually interesting. You can star it. You can create new folders within that folder. You can download the folder. So if you have a folder and you're in a class now in a different classroom with a different computer, and you want to put those folder files on that computer, you simply click download. And then we're going to talk about sharing folders or files. So if I click on share, I have a few choices. My immediate choice is I can invite people to have access to that file. They would get an email with this direct link to it, and if they click on it, they sign into their Google account, they will be able to access that file. They can download it and so on. Now here you can say they can edit that file, or they can just view it. If they can edit it, that way you can kind of collaborate, and they can save it, and you'll be able to look at previous versions of that file and do that. Or you can also go up here where it says who has access. Right now it says private. You can change that to making it public on the web, so anybody in the world who has an email address and website connection could access it, or anyone with the link. That way, if you have people that are not part of the VCCS, but you want to have them view it, you can click on this, email them the link, and then they can access that file. Or within Blackboard, you're teaching a class, you could link these important files there, like your PowerPoints or PDFs, as opposed to storing them right in the Blackboard. You can have it accessed by anybody in the VCCS, or you can say specific people, and then do that. I'm going to say right now, anyone with a link can do it, and I'll say save. And then also I can also invite people, either the VCCS or TCC email addresses. I can add a message, and this message would say simply, you now have access to whatever file it is. I would like for you to either to view it, edit it, or make comments, and they would be able to do it. So I'm going to say cancel for right now, done. And then I'm going to bring up just one file to kind of show you how you do have the ability to collaborate. So I'm going to click on this little budget document here. So you can go to File, and you can see the revision history here by clicking on that. And you can see this particular document has been edited and saved 3 times. And as I click on each one, it takes me to that revision and asks me if I want to restore that revision. So if you're working with students or other faculty members on an important document and they've been editing and saving it, you can always go back to previous documents and use that. So that's a great part of collaboration. Well, there's a lot to do with your Google Drive, and I'm going to actually create a link to a lynda.com tutorial where they have an entire video course related to just how to use your Google Drive and your Google Documents. So if you get the chance, create the account for lynda.com and look at the entire course on creating and using your Google Drive. But just for right now, all we wanted to talk about is just get you teased a little bit about it so that you might want to give it a try. So technology tip number 1, we're signing off.